I'm not quite sure yet, but today might be a big day for me because it might be the last day that I own and drive my 2004 Nissan Xterra. You guys have been watching this channel for a long time, know that this has been my vehicle ever since the beginning. In fact, I bought this back in 2010, which was a year before I started vlogging, which is an incredibly long time ago. I bought this vehicle for $13,000 and it had 60,000 miles on it. Right now it has almost 150,000, so I've put 90,000 miles on it in the 8 years that I've owned it, mainly from commuting back and forth to work. It's treated me really well, but after saying all that, I'm actually thinking about upgrading. I've been thinking about that for a long time, and I think I found a deal that we're going to look at today, and if you're seeing this video, it probably means that we actually bought that vehicle. Otherwise, I'm just going to scrap this footage. Before I go into information about the vehicle I found, I'll tell you why I want to get rid of this. Not because it's a bad vehicle. I've hardly put any money into it, just standard maintenance. I've never really had any issues with it. It's been a fantastic vehicle for the time that I've owned it, but I'm just looking to get something a little bit bigger, something that we can haul some more stuff with and go camping and go on adventures and do a lot of traveling with. Just something a little beefier, and that's why I found a van that we're going to go look at. It's a full-size van, not a minivan, so don't worry there. But I'm excited to check it out. I don't know what's going to come of that, but I thought I would make this video now, just in the event that in a few hours from now I don't own this anymore. Maybe we can look back on this and remember this vehicle for how great it was and just kind of close out this chapter of my life, I suppose. All these loud vehicles really like to ruin my videos out here. Regardless of that, I'll give you a walk around on my Nissan. I'll point out some of the things. Again, it's in pretty good condition with the exception of a little bit of rust happening right here. We live in Pennsylvania, so rust is just an inevitable thing. But overall, this thing is very clean. I've taken fairly good care of it. I've done all the stuff that you're supposed to do as an owner. This right here has always kind of bothered me with how that's kind of faded out. This is what it kind of should look like, and that's kind of what it starts to look like. We're gonna have to go through the jungle to see this side of it, but again, pretty good all around. I've put a couple sets of tires on it in its lifetime, and these ones are starting to get a little worn down. I don't know if the camera loves seeing that, but yeah, they're starting to get a little worn. I'll take you inside of it here and show you the interior. Don't mind how messy it is. I wasn't really concerned about cleaning it because we're probably just gonna be trading it in. I don't think they really care about things like that, but it's not too dirty, not too bad. Seats are in good condition. Of course, we got Clark's car seat back there. Probably the worst thing that's going on right now is that the headliner has officially quit on life, so it's kind of hanging down here. But outside of that, a very good vehicle. Let's just turn it on here for you so you can see some of the information on it here. Right now we're at 149,227, so not quite at 150. It does have a check engine light that's on, which I was told is not a huge deal. It's just like an oxygen sensor or something. Either get it fixed or leave it as is, and I just decided to leave it as is. But no other issues. The oil change was supposed to be done at 149,214. We're 13 miles over the oil change. Trying to think if there's anything else that I want to show you. I'm not going to show you the engine and stuff like that. I'm not too concerned about that. Again, this is just for me to kind of remember this vehicle by. I'll show you the back here. Very good condition. I kept a rug back here to keep this clean. There is some straw and stuff. That's what happens when you're backyard chicken raiser or whatever, you end up with straw in your vehicle. So that's what that looks like, and again, very clean vehicle. The way I'm talking about this, I feel like a used car salesman, like very clean, low miles, icy cold AC. This is the vehicle for you. Hopefully that's the way they feel. I'm hoping to be able to trade this for like maybe $2,000, $2,500, something like that. I could probably get a little bit more than that if I were to sell it to a private party, but then you just end up with a lot of BS and people saying they're gonna come look at it, and they stand you up, and then you gotta go do the transfer and go through all this negotiation and stuff. I'd rather just trade it, be done with it, and have a new vehicle here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be leaving here in a couple minutes. The place that we're going is actually the same place that I bought this at, surprisingly. They just seem to have really good deals on vehicles, and the one that I'm looking at is a 2003, so it's actually 1 year older than this, but it's a Ford E150, which is a full-size van. It's white on the outside. It looks really clean. It's only got 63,000 miles, I believe, which is kind of insane for a 2003. That is very low mileage. And the asking price is $9,000. So worst case scenario, I think if they give me $2,000 for this, which I think is like the lowest they would offer, I should be paying about $7,000 to have a vehicle with 90,000 fewer miles and a lot more storage space. I think it has a hitch on the back, and it's just gonna work out really well for us, and I'm just kind of excited to make a change. Of course, I'll be updating you on this as we go throughout the day, and this might be the end of the Nissan. Otherwise, this video was just a big giant waste of time. It's a few hours later, and as you can see behind me here, the Nissan Xterra is still a part of my life, and that's because we went to look at the Ford van, and it was there, of course, and we opened it up, looked around it, had a little bit more rust than what I anticipated, but no big deal. I got in it, and I started driving it, and that's immediately when I realized that that was not the vehicle for me. And that was really hard for me to accept because it really felt like today was the day. There was just something about today. I don't know if it was the weather, the timing, just something in the air felt like I was gonna be trading the Nissan in on a new vehicle today, but it's just one of those things. You know when something's right and when something's not right. And when I was driving that van, I just realized that I was not enjoying the experience. I did not like driving the van. I didn't like really anything about it. And I drove it back, parked it where it was, and I told the guy that, you know, we're just not interested. I think he was a little crushed because I had called before just to make sure it was there, and I really thought I thought he was going to make a deal today, and sadly it didn't happen. So we drove home sort of in defeat, but as we were driving, I started thinking that this really isn't a defeat. What you should do when you're trying to buy a vehicle is test drive a variety of vehicles, find what works, find what doesn't work. With this vehicle, it was the first one that I drove and I took it. With Cody's vehicle, it was the first one that we drove and we took it. And this is the first time I've kind of like actually thought about it. And it's important to do that when it's such an expensive purchase. But what I've determined from this is that maybe I need to up my price range a little bit, as much as I don't want to do that, and get something that's a little bit more expensive, but also a little bit nicer and something that we both like. And I guess just something that you can be proud of and something that you really want to drive. I said something earlier that I want to take back. I said that this video is going to be a waste if I didn't get the vehicle, and that's not the case, because whether it's a day, a week, a month, or a year from now, when I have my new vehicle, and I'm gonna be able to share it, and it's gonna be something that I really love and something that I'm proud of. And just thinking about that makes me really happy. So for you, take your very last look at the Nissan Xterra, and for me, I'll see you in the future. There it is.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Love it.
Strike a pose.
What a pose.
Just do something fun. I don't know about that. Where'd my vehicle go? The Nissan just evaporated. It's gone.